Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Dadbot Gaming God. You may have seen me around Twitch. I don't stream very often, but I'm wanting to do it more. And I did not actually intend for this to be my very first episode of Math of Exile, but considering what I found out about something that the title kind of refers to, I kind of want to get it out there in case it's not intended. Um, I really don't want this to be nerfed, but a lot of people don't realize this, and a couple of the streamers I've talked to about don't know about it, and I just kind of want to make a demonstration video real quick. So this is technically the first episode of Math of Exile. It's going to be a series of videos that talks about different aspects of math in Path of Exile. Right now, as you can see, I am on a very, very terribly created character, as my tree points out. The only thing of importance that I've actually taken on this tree is Elemental Overload, just so that we can see something that we're about to go over. So the point of this video is about Orb of Storms. Orb of Storms, as we can see, let me exit here. Orb of Storms has a critical strike chance of 5% base. We can see that on the gem itself. Right now, this is just a level 18 Orb of Storms that I just had left over in Standard. But the base crit chance for this spell is 5% flat. And I've just went on a random character, respec the entire thing, took off all the gear, except for a Tabula and a Southbound Gauntlets, and we'll go over why for just a second. But the whole point of this is to make sure this has a 5% spell crit chance. There's no additives anywhere else. It's 5% no matter what. So this is the actual base crit chance. The reason why we're going to use Southbound Gauntlets, or Southbound Gloves, is so that we don't kill anything. This is just to show that Orb of Storms' crit chance is not actually 5%. I know that there was a change in the patches for Harvest that kind of talked about Orb of Storms being bugged with cast speed. I don't know if this is a bug or if this is intended, but from my calculations, Orb of Storm's crit chance is actually 5% per mob hit. So, for example, this level 18 Orb of Storms, the crit chance for this is actually 25%. And on top of that, initially casting Orb of Storms also counts as a hit. So, technically, it's 6 hits. So, Orb of Storms on the initial cast is 30%, and every hit after that is 25% chance to crit. I was trying to think of a way of demonstrating this, of having some sort of spreadsheet, some sort of thing like that available. But honestly, after doing some tests last night, the best way to show this off is just to show you, because it's very obvious. This isn't something subtle. Because mathematically, while I waypoint to Act 1 Coast, mathematically, a 5% crit chance for Orb of Storms means that in 15 casts of Orb of Storms, you're critting 0.8 of those. So you might crit once in 15 casts. That means that your Elemental Overload, you might can keep it up in that time. But more than likely you wouldn't. So, what we're going to do, just to show off, I've got a Scorching right here just to kill off some other mobs if they get involved. This is a solo mob by itself. Let me kill one of these real quick. Okay, so solo mob by itself. Let me get it over here so we can kind of demonstrate. This, if I just Orb of Storms and let it go, this is the intended thing. Every strike after the first one is 5% crit chance. The initial strike for this solo mob is 10% because it's more often that this is going to crit on the solo cast, or the initial cast, as opposed to the rest of them. As you can see, we have not crit at all yet. Okay, so that's me just casting it and letting the duration hit the 6 times. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my Orb of Storms key, and this should start critting a lot more often. There's one. There's one. And you can see it by the Elemental Overload timer up here. Every time it resets to 8, that means that we have crit again. So what we're going to do is, there it is again. That's already more often than it should. So is of my opinion that the initial cast doubles because you're casting it and it's hitting for the first time. So 5 plus 5 is 10. And the mathematics kind of works out that way. But more importantly, this is the big kicker. Because in my builds, I'm a hardcore player, but I'm not a very good player. And I play a lot of non-crit elemental builds. I'm just like, hey, what's the best way to proc elemental overload? And there's this big debate between Orb of Storms versus Stormbrand. I think if this is going to be in the game, Orb of Storms 100% is the better option, just because of this. So what we're going to do, let me run into a group of 5 or more mobs real quick. Remember, I'm supposed to be critting 0.8 out of 15 times. I'm going to hold my Orb of Storms down. Watch the upper left corner for Elemental Overload procs. Hey, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. This is critting once every about 4 casts or so. Sometimes it's more often than that. So, as you can see, Orb of Storms hits 4 additional targets. So that means 5 total. And the initial cast hits too. So that's 6 times 5, which is a 30% crit chance. So 30% crit does look like this. And I don't think I have to do the math on anything. I don't have to make some sort of spreadsheet on anything. This is pretty definitive proof. And I really hope that GGG doesn't see this and nerf it to fix a bug. I hope this is intended. I believe this is additive per mob hit. And hopefully somebody can use this to make a cool build out of it. And hopefully this isn't some sort of glitch that's in the game on accident. But that's really it. Orb of Storms has been lying to you. It's not 5%. It's 5% for everything hit. So use that for your elemental overload build, guys. But hey, thanks for watching. Give me some suggestions in the comments. Catch me over at twitch.tv/dadbodgaminggod. Probably not going to catch me live unless I start streaming a lot more. But hey, if you see me in any of the streams, Rich J Money, Ziz, Rise, any of those, hit me up. Say, give me some suggestions on things. What I will be going over in the next episode, though, is multipliers and the difference between increase versus more, decrease versus less, and the various multipliers that are in the game. I'm probably going to split that up over a couple of episodes. Tried to record it once and it ended up being like a 30 to 40 minute video. But thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Stay safe. Bye.